Are you tired of this and wanted to do this? Let me show you how to do it with the ViFly Whoop series board. When you open the box, this is what you're going to get, and there's no surprises. You have the option to charge two types of 1S batteries. They are the BT2.0 or the regular PH20. The max you can charge for each is 6. This is the BT2.0 plug, and this is the PH2.0 plug. Do note this is considered as one plug, and you can only choose one at a time. This is correct, and this is not correct. This board also comes with a 5 amp fuse for safety purpose, and the knob has a 1.5 amp fuse. So your charging current should never be more than 1.5 amp in total. The purpose for this knob is for you to manually select the cell count, aka how many 1S batteries are you charging. As you can see, here are some numbers from 1S to 6S. If you have one battery plugged in, you should manually dial the knob to 1. And if you have 4 plugged in, you should dial the knob to 4S. Before we begin the demo, it is important to understand this is a series charging board, not a parallel charging board. Let's briefly discuss the difference. A series charging board will have an internal circuit wired, of course, in series. So when our batteries are plugged in, they actually look like this. So we're connecting top to bottom, and top to bottom. And when batteries are lining up in series, no matter how many batteries you connect to the line, the capacity will always remain the same. So in this case, the entire capacity is 450 milliamps. The only difference and the benefit of this is your voltage will be multiplied by how many batteries you're connecting as series. For example, we now have 4 1S LiPo batteries connected, so we can multiply the voltage by 4, which the total will be 17.4 volts. This is also how our regular FPV lipos are connected, like this 4S batteries. You are getting a 650 entire capacity, but you are getting a much higher voltage. So when it goes to charging this, the current will be going 1, 2, 3, 4. And since our capacity is remaining the same, your charging current will need to be set as 0.5 milliamps to charge at 1C. For your information, 1C is calculated by 400 milliamps divided by 1000 equals to 0.5 amps, which is 1C. Okay, now let's look at the parallel charging board. A parallel charging board will have the internal circuit wired as parallel. So your batteries will no longer be connected top to bottom, and they are now more like this, in a parallel circuit. Your voltage will remain the same as 4.35 volts per cell, but your capacity will increase by how many batteries you plugged in. So we have 5 450 milliamp batteries, so our entire capacity is going to be increased 5 times. So 5 times 450 milliamps equals to 2250 milliamps, or 2.25 amps. So when we are charging, the current will be divided based on how many batteries you have. For example, when charging these 5 batteries at 1 amp, your current will be divided by 5, and each battery will only receive 0.2 amps when charging. You are still safe, as this is still way below 1C, but your charging speed will be very slow. So to correctly charge at 1C, we will need to adjust the charging amp to 2.25 amps as to charge at 1C. And these are just some ideas for you to know the difference, and more details of parallel charging board will be shared later on, as this is a little bit more complicated. We're not going to mention it here. Okay, final recap. When using a series charging board, as your capacity will remain the same no matter how many batteries you're connecting to it, make sure not to multiply the capacity to set the correct current when charging. Also, make sure to only charge the battery together that has the same capacity. So when you're doing 300, do 300 only. When you're doing 450, do 450 only. Do not mix the 450 with the 300. Okay, so here's a quick tutorial of how to use this charging board. First, let's plug in everything to our charger. All right, let's plug in the batteries. Make sure we're plugging it in by the sequence. So we have 4, so make sure to go with 1, the first one, the second one, the third one, and the fourth one. Okay, and make sure you dial the knob to 4S as we are only charging 4. All right, let's go to the charger. We're going to select the correct battery type, which this is Li-Hi batteries, it's correct. And the cell count, because we are charging 4, so we have to select it to be 4S. And the mode we want is charge. And the current, if we're going to charge it at 1C, it should be 0.45, but let's just charge it at 0.4 because there's not that option. And we're just going to hit start. During the charging process, please make sure not to unplug or add any batteries, as this will not be safe as everything has been set up manually to 4S at the moment. Removing or adding batteries will cause mismatch issue and you might fry the board or something might start burning. If you need to unplug or add any batteries, make sure to stop the charging cycle completely, remove and add the batteries you need, and redial the knob in your charger to the correct cell count and restart the charging cycle. Once the charging cycle is completed, stop the charger, unplug the batteries, and we are done. Okay, so this wraps us up the video today. If you have additional questions, please leave a comment and I will get back to you promptly. If you think I earned it, please help me like and subscribe to my channel. Your support means a lot to me. Thank you and bye for now.